you say to someone who lost their loved one, I'm sorry for your loss. Everything's going to be okay. Time heals all wounds. What do you say to that person? What do you say to the victims of Hurricane Katrina, Puerto Rico, or Oklahoma City when a tornado tore through there? When tsunami hit Japan, what do we say to these people? Sorry for your loss. Sorry that your home no longer exists. Your loved ones may never be found. Time heals all wounds. We have cliche statements that we use to help people deal with grief, the pain of loss, the pain, the feeling that their lives have been completely rocked. And we hate cliches on this show, don't we? But today's show is just one big cliche. Because after everything is going on in today's world, everything is going on with the coronavirus, the only thing we have to say is nothing will ever be the same again. At least that's how it feels. But what do I know? What do I know? Not much. Today, this episode is all going to be based off of opinion, my thoughts, what I believe. We can't deal with facts today, people, because truth of the matter is, no matter who you talk to, no one has the facts. If you look for answers on when it's all going to end or how it's going to end, I don't know. I don't know. In fact, no one knows. Of course, many people will tell you all kinds of different theories of how it's going to end, but we'll get to that. There's some people out here that don't believe they're in danger. We'll get to that. There's people who are on the front line fighting against this coronavirus who yesterday were unappreciated. We'll get to that. There's people who don't understand, who don't believe that their life's going to change. We'll get to that. There's things we took for granted every single day that's helping us get through this tough time. Well, we're going to get to that. So where do you want to start at, people? Where do you want to start at? Let's start with the people who are on the front line fighting. The nurses, the doctors, the essential workers who are out here every single day fighting. We always praise celebrities, don't we? And why not? We praise celebrities, we praise athletes, not because we just feel like they're more important than doctors or nurses. We praise them because they help us escape the normal life, the normal stress that we live in. Watching a basketball game, football game, a baseball game allows us a few moments to escape the normalcy of our lives, escape the craziness. Whether it's for a job, through hearing about politics and news. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe it's issues with your marriage or loss of a child. Whatever you're going through, sports help you separate from that, gives you a break from that. A movie gives you a break from that. It lets you escape into a world of fiction, imagination, allow you to create a world that is different in the one you live in. But today's time, where sports are erased, where movie theaters are closed, distractions are gone. And you're forced to deal with the realities of your life today. Now, is that all a bad thing? Some of you may say, yeah, it's a horrible thing because I'm stuck in my house, self-quarantine, can't go anywhere, can't do anything. It's not a bad thing because reality is, through any storm, any hurricane, after any tornado, you can find a silver lining in the cloud if you look for it. So you may be saying, what's the silver lining in me being self-quarantined? Silver lining is that you can recognize the people who put their lives online to make your day go every single day. I ain't talking about the sports entertainers who give you that distraction. I'm talking about those nurses who are out there stuck in the front line, working 12, 24-hour shifts, trying to help people, your loved ones, live, fighting to keep this virus contained. We're talking about doctors who put their lives online, their health online, their families' lives online to help people. We're talking about people who are going to stores, the people that you take for granted every day, that cashier, that person working in the deli, stock boy, stock woman, people who are driving those trucks to make sure these deliveries get there. Make sure you get your hand sanitizer, your hand soap. Get the essentials that you need every single day to keep your life going. These are the people we ignore every single day. We ignore so many people when we take them for granted because a lot of times we look at the people who work at the restaurants, waitresses, as just dirt on our shoes. Somebody for us to step over and never to consider their journey or the importance of their actions, and how they have play an essential part of our lives. I mean, of course, we're getting upset and up in arms about all the sports that's being uprooted and being canceled because we can't watch it. It doesn't give distraction. But what about the people who are actually trying to make sure that your life goes every day and still trying to give you some sense of normalcy in a time where it seems nothing will be the same again? Today we have to appreciate those people. Not just today, but tomorrow. We can't allow this to go past and go back to the normal where we just ignore our cashiers, our truck drivers, our nurses, our doctors, all the essential workers, the daycare workers, all the people who are out here every day going to work, putting their lives on lines so your life can continue on. We can no longer ignore them anymore. Today we have to understand that the new norm now is to appreciate them. And nothing will ever be the same again where we can step over them and ignore them. We have to realize now, people, what we put our appreciation in. What is more important in your life? If 2 months ago I asked you what was important to you, what was valuable to you, you might say your coin collection, sneaker collection, your jewelry, your clothes, your cars, your house. Some may say their family, their bank account. Ask you what's valuable to you today. What you gonna say? Toilet paper, hand sanitizer, disinfecting wipes, disinfecting spray, paper towels. Essentials have changed. What's important to you have changed. Your values have changed. Things you may take for granted every single day before is the things that you're fighting for now. That you're willing to spend so much more for now. That you're going to have a deeper appreciation for now. Because before you didn't really care about toilet paper like that. Unless you was one of the bougie ones who only liked a certain type of toilet paper and all that. You really didn't appreciate it. Even then, your life has changed because now you don't have the option to be bougie because you got to take whatever you can get. You may only like a certain type of water, but now you can't be bougie no more because you got to take what you can get. Because you got to either be the first one to get it or you got to accept whatever's left over. Your values have completely changed in these circumstances. And many of you for the better. Because you may come out of this situation and you may have different values. You may have a different appreciation for things you took for granted every single day. Nothing will ever be the same again. Some people values are going to look at things like technology. We all look at technology as the atom bomb on not only America but the world that just destroyed all of our brain cells and destroyed our children, the way we look at life and the way we treat life. We don't go outside. Kids don't go outside and play no more. We don't socially interact. Look how we date now. You used to go meet somebody at a church, or you meet somebody at a supermarket, or just someone outside at work. You meet somebody, that's how you court somebody, you start dating. And now you go online dating. Now you do all your shopping online. You don't go in the supermarket no more. Just everything changed with technology to make you worse. You know, everything's bad about technology. But in the situation now we live in, we look at technology a little different, don't it? Because see, through technology, we're allowed to keep most of the country working. We're allowed to keep working. We're allowed to keep our jobs. We're allowed to work from home, to teach our kids. Our front room has become the new classroom. Your woman cave or your man cave has become the new office. You're still able to earn a paycheck because of technology. You're able to still order food and to pick it up through technology. DoorDash, Grubhub, give you options to pick up your food so you can still feel a little normal. You want that steak dinner from Texas Roadhouse that you're craving for? You can still get it thanks to technology. The world hasn't changed too much. Like I said, nothing will ever be the same again because a new appreciation for technology has arisen from all this with this coronavirus, all this sickness. Something new has changed where it's making you appreciate and learn that you can see the negative in everything or you can see the positive in something. It's all a choice on how you choose to use and see things. But like I said, nothing's going to be the same again, people. We have social distancing now, self-quarantine, where people are forced to self-quarantine, sit in their house, spend time with their family. Today is the day you're going to get to know your husband or your wife really well. Thought you know them before, you're going to get to know them really well. Today's the day you're going to find out whether you truly want to marry your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You're going to truly find out what you feel about people. Today's the day you're going to find out the most about yourself, who you are. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger, right? That's true. This situation, the way you come out of this, after you come out of this quarantine, after you come out of this coronavirus scare, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to either make you a stronger person or it's going to expose the weakness in you. The kinks in your armor. Let's talk about the kinks in your armor. Because we got two kind of people out here right now. We got the woke people. Well, we got three kind of people. We got the woke people out there who are woke and they know everything that's going on. They know what the government is trying to do, and we're going to break that down in a second. Know what the government's trying to do. They're trying to initiate a martial law, trying to create a new world order. They're trying to create a new type of currency where currency is now going to be all digital. No more paper currency. Currency is all going to be digital and controlled by the government. There's going to be a new world order where one government runs the whole entire world. This is what all this is about. This is what all this coronavirus scare is all about. So you got the woke people. And they're connected with the social media scholars who promote these through memes, through comments, through made up stories online. They know. They're on it. They got it. They got this all figured out. They know what this whole coronavirus thing's about. You got to go on social media. Social media scholars, they woke on social media. You got to make sure you pay attention, people. They know what's going on in the world. Then you got the people who are deeply religious, believe in Buddha, Allah, who believe Buddha is going to keep them safe. Allah is going to keep them away from harm. The blood of Jesus is going to keep them protected against any coronavirus so they can go outside. They can disobey government's state of emergency laws. They don't have to deal with social distancing. They do not need latex gloves, and they certainly don't need to be walking around with face masks on, because those things are for criminals. Don't criminals go in stores and they wear a face mask and stick you up and wear gloves so they don't leave no fingerprints? This is a criminal's world. This is a criminal's paradise right now, and they don't need that because they are warriors of Jesus Christ, of Buddha, of Allah. They don't need this type of protection. They don't need 6 feet of social distancing. They are protected. They are walking around with their body. But like I said, today is the day where cliches are going to speak higher. Today's the day. So let's start with the social media thugs. Social media, I don't want to say thugs, I'm sorry, bad choice of words. Social media scholars. Social media scholars. Social media scholars talking about New World Order, right? Let's talk about it for a second, people. New World Order, new government, where one government runs the whole entire world. Let's start there. As we look in today and we talk about the president, what do we call the president? The president of America, what do we call him? You don't know? All right, I'll answer for you. We call him the leader of the free world. Ever heard of the United Nations? The United Nations make up the most countries who pretty much make the rules of the world, that dominate the world, not the country, the world, are part of the United Nations. So basically what you're saying is, if these people come together and make decisions about what's coming in the world already, about what's changing in the world, about how the world's going to function for the most part, have the authority and the military backing to be able to take on any challenger and force governments to obey their rules, then technically, isn't it already a new world order and that already happened? And didn't that come from World War II? Oh, we said we ain't going to do history then. We said we ain't going to do it facts. So we're looking for a new world order, but the President of the United States is the leader of the free world, and the United Nations are an organization made up of multiple countries that make up rules and decisions about the world. But the coronavirus is here to start a new world order. Yes, nothing will be the same again because they're going to create a new world order. Then what's else? What else? Oh, yeah, digital currency, right? Yeah, right, because that's what the government's trying to do now. The coronavirus is all about digital currency right now. Creating digital currency so that they can control our money. They're even giving away $1,200 stimulus checks for working Americans who are under a certain financial class. $1,200. $500 for each child. And this is all to get your vote or so that they can control your money because they're going to force a new electronic currency. Let me ask you a question, people. When the last time you used cash? Just curious. You use Apple Pay? Google Pay? You ever use that? You got a debit card? Credit card? Interesting. Yeah, you know, that's all electronic form of currency and spending already. and this was all put in place before the coronavirus. So they're going to change to electronic currency, but we're already electronic currency. Did you know when you go on Walmart, you go on Verizon, certain stores, majority every store that you go on, when you go on social media, when you go buy stuff online, that they're tracking everything you're spending? They're tracking everything you're buying. Do you know why they're tracking what you're buying? Because your buying habits, your buying patterns, and things you buy and things you look at tell them and tell people more about you than you could ever. Your action could ever. Wherever you put on an application, wherever you say your buying patterns, things you buy will tell you more. Can't they already liquidate your account, put your account on hold? So why do they need to go to a global currency of one form of currency when most of the currency and the way we spend our money is through digital forms? There is not many stores. Kmart has shut down, and most stores are shutting down because most people buy things online. So we're using digital currency already, but they're using the coronavirus to force digital currency. Jesus, these social media scholars, man, they got it all figured out though. They got it all figured out. But like I said, the world, everything, nothing will ever be the same again, people. So we focus on something different, right? Focus on people who are deeply religious, believe that God, Allah, is going to save them from the coronavirus, that their protection is through God and Allah, through Buddha. Through the fact that they're running around with a Quran or Bible in their pocket is going to keep them protected. They don't need gloves. They don't need masks. I call those people who believe in that hypocrites. Not because of their belief in God, not because of their faith in God, because believe me, I have faith in God myself. I have the deepest faith in God. And God says the faith of a mustard seed, He will give unto you. All you gotta have is the faith of a mustard seed. But see, there's a difference between faith. It's just being plain ignorant. Okay? There's a difference between having faith and just being ignorant, okay? And being inconsiderate. Because what the Bible also says is love thy neighbor. How are you loving thy neighbor if you're not respecting thy neighbor by keeping 6 feet of distance? If you're not socially gathering, if you continue to socially gather because of what you believe or what you want to do, because you want to disobey rules and you want to use Buddha, Allah, or God to just basically try to speak for you up there breaking the rules, basically. Because you don't want to abide by the social gathering rules or the state laws to try to prevent this coronavirus from spreading. You sitting here talking about your belief in God and stuff is supposed to help you and protect you. But the reality is, let's break it down. Let's talk about it, people. We're not going to break it down, but let's talk about it. Cliches, we say, we're going to love cliches, say we normally stay away from them, but today we're cliche all the way up today. They say faith without work is dead. Meaning, God gives you free will. If you believe in Allah, Allah gives you free will. If you believe in Buddha, He gives you free will. Free will to make choices on your own. So if you choose to go out here without a mask on, then you can get yourself sick. If you can say you believe in God, then go rob a liquor store, guess what? God ain't going to tell you to go rob that liquor store. So when you get caught or you get shot, that's on you. That has nothing to do with God. You bringing God into something, you making bad choices. You go out here and do something bad, and you say, well, I believe in God, so I believe in the blood of Jesus is going to protect me as I go in this bank and I'm going to rob this bank. I'm going to the police station, shoot the police station up. The blood of Jesus is going to protect me as I go in the police station and do wrong. So you going out here doing wrong, you go out here disrespecting, disobeying the laws, but you thinking that you're protected because you're doing wrong, because you're not loving thy neighbor by keeping 6 feet of social distancing, because you choosing not to respect people's space, to choose not to respect the loved ones that you have, people in your house. It does not have nothing to do with God. It has something to do with basic common sense. There's a virus out here that's affecting your body. Your belief in God is something you should have. We should all exercise our belief in God. And the times we live in right now is a time where we should be on our knees praying to God. We should be strengthening our faith in God and our belief in God. But that don't mean to ignore basic common sense. That does not mean that. That does not mean to disrespect people and to be all up on somebody's back way at the store at the cash register, to not disrespecting somebody's space. People, the essential workers who are working at the deli counter. They had a line out there, and I watched a woman in disbelief as she disrespected this man. He said, excuse me, miss, in the most politest way he possibly could, told her, can you please stand behind the red line? She then began to berate this man, this essential worker who was trying to make your life go daily. Your daily life seem normal. Trying to give you something you need. when she berated this man, telling him, well, you might be a disease. You serving my food. So you may be the one getting me sick. I should be worried about you standing behind the line. You behind the glass. Why are you worried about me? The man told the lady, ma'am, we live in very scary times right now. I'm just trying to follow the rules that's set by the store. She continued to berate this man so bad that after I received my food, I apologized to him because I felt bad for what she said. She continued on berating him, explaining that she's covered by the blood of Jesus and she has her Bible with her today and she's protected against any coronavirus or any sickness or ailment that's in the world today. And I felt like that's the biggest hypocrite you could ever see, because as you sit there and hold that Bible, you sit there berating the man, disrespecting the man who's only simply trying to do his job, trying to make your life seem a little normal in a place where we are scary and everything seems different, where we're looking at life right now and nothing seems the same. What is so hard about following rules? What's so hard about social distance? What's so hard about keeping 6 feet away from somebody? What's so hard about respecting people? I know every single day, every single week I put up a show, we talk about trying to help people, trying to look at things differently, trying to be positive, trying to enforce our way of thinking, to try to see things different, try to treat people different. But what's so hard about this? What's so hard about respecting people? Nobody's questioning your faith in God. Nobody's questioning what you're reading in the Bible. Nobody's questioning your faith in Allah or what you're reading in the Quran. Nobody's questioning your faith in Buddha, but questioning your common sense. Because when you're doing things of ignorance and you're displaying ignorance like you do, God has no place in your social ignorance. He has no place in your choice to disrespect other people's space, to put others at danger. Because that's not what he put you here for. And he's not protecting you to go and hurt somebody. So next time you think about doing that, put it in the context of you going out there and robbing the store, or going to rob somebody, knocking somebody over the head, or doing something else illegal that you're not supposed to do, and then saying before you do it that you're covered by the blood of Jesus, Allah, or Buddha, and that's going to protect you against that. Think about that for a second. I just want you to think about it when you're going through these times. Yes, this is scary times. And these are times that if you're not praying, if you don't have faith, you don't have a relationship with God, it's a time that you probably should. Not probably, you should. Because this is scary. This is as real as it's going to get. Understand something, people. Nothing will be the same after this. Because reality is, you are going to go back in the history book. 20, 30 years from now, your children are going to read about this. People are going to look back at this day and time that we're experiencing right now, and there's going to be conversations about it. Because the truth of the matter is, sporting events like Wimbledon, baseball, basketball, has not been canceled since World War II. Most of us wasn't even alive during that time. So that tells you right now how serious this is. It's a serious time. It's a scary time for others. But it's even more scary because you got people who don't respect it. You got young people. This virus is supposed to only be taking out older people. People who have lung diseases, asthmatic, older people. But young, healthy people. People who believe in that apple a day to keep the doctor away are being the ones that are getting sick, and not only sick, but dying from it. This is as real as it gets, people. Unfortunately, you are on the front line. And some of us are on the front line being very disrespectful and ignorant, not only to ourselves and our loved ones, but to other people. Disregarding common sense and our belief that we're okay because we're immune to something. Nothing's going to be different. Nothing's going to be the same after this. When you look at people who are complaining and making comments about the stimulus package, oh, they're just trying to buy your vote with this $1,200, $500. Think about this for a second. Some of us, this stimulus package is $1,200, extra $500 for your child, however much money you get. It may just be extra disposable income to you. It just may be extra disposable income because you're not affected by coronavirus. Maybe you're still working. You can work from home and everything's going fine with your finances, or you have a job which still pays you for the time off. You got PTO, or you got disability, so you're still getting paid. So it's not really affecting your financial situation. So to you, this stimulus package is nothing more than more disposable income. But I want you to think for 1 second. I want you to step outside your character and think about the person who doesn't have a job right now, who was laid off right now, whose life has been sacrificed, whose life is not the same no more, who has to wake up in the morning and realize that they don't have another paycheck coming anytime sooner, don't know when their paycheck's coming, don't know when they can go back to work, don't know how they're going to feed their family, and may have to go to a food bank to pick up a box of food, which they never had to do in their life. don't know what's going to happen. And this stimulus package may be the one thing that gives them one sense of normal. Think about that for a second when you're criticizing something that somebody's getting. Just because you're okay don't mean everybody else is okay. Just because you're good don't mean everybody else is good. Just because this may be just disposable income for you, this may be a saving grace for somebody else. You got to think about it and step outside yourself for a second. And these times are a time to teach and bring revelation to us that we need to step outside of ourselves to see other people, to feel for other people, to care about other people, and to think about other people and how they feel. This stimulus package may be someone else's opportunity to feel normal, even for a week, even for a few days, to pay a few bills that they're sitting right home right now, stressing and worrying about not being able to pay. This may be a difference. It may not be to you, but that don't mean it's not a difference to somebody else. This may be a saving grace to somebody else. This ain't about buying somebody's vote. It's not about that. This is not about red and blue. It's not about Republican, Democrat. Right now, this is about life. This is about somebody feeling a sense of normalcy in a time where you feel nothing will ever be the same and you don't see no light at the end of this tunnel. Because I'm telling you right now, if I'm talking to you, if you're in earshot, if you can see me, right now, you understand that you too don't see no light at the end of this tunnel. They telling you, oh, by April 30th, this is going to be done. Oh, by May the 1st, it's going to be done. We don't know when this is going to go. Maybe it will just one day we'll wake up and it'll be all over. Maybe it'll be a year from now. Maybe it'll be a month. Maybe a week. We don't know. But the truth of the matter is, as we look at today and we look at our lives, one thing is for certain, people. Everything is changing. And other people's lives, if not yours, is being disrupted by what's going on with the coronavirus. So you got to step outside yourself. Learn to appreciate and find value in things that we took for granted, and to people we took for granted, to people we stepped over, we mistreated. It's time that changes. And we recognize the true essential need for these people and how they gave us a sense of normalcy in a time where it was scary and we felt like we were living in a movie, in a horror film. While we were facing an invisible form of death that's coming around and can penetrate our bodies, our loved ones. We can't see it, we can't smell it, and we can't feel it. Today's the time right now to find time to actually believe in God. I know some of you out there saying, oh, this is the end of days, this is the end of days, but as the Bible says, no man or woman shall know the time or day when Jesus or God returns to earth to claim his children and to wipe us from the earth. So the reality is we don't know if this is the end of the day. What I would say is this is the beginning of a new day. This is the beginning of a new day for us to change the values, how we look at each other, how we look at people. We're going to find out so much about ourselves. We're going to learn to appreciate other people. We're going to learn to appreciate things that we take for granted every single day. I'm going to end this with a quick story before I end it off with. I remember me and my wife, we lived in an apartment, okay? Quick story. And a water main broke outside. Or something broke, they had to replace it. And short story is the water was turned off for a few days. So we had to go buy these 5-10-gallon jugs of water because you couldn't flush the toilet, you didn't have no your sinks didn't work, you couldn't cook, you had to use these jugs of spring water. In that time period, man, our lives were disrupted. I mean, it's not on a major scale as today, but I'm not trying to compare it to today. But I'm just trying to tell you a story because some people in Flint, Michigan are dealing with this today and understand exactly what I'm saying right now. The point is, before that happened, I didn't appreciate water. I didn't appreciate the value of just being able to flush the toilet, to be able to turn the sink on, because we looked at water as it's coming out, we flushing toilets, and we just drink it faucet. It's just like water is just this never-ending thing that just keeps coming and we never have to worry about it. But when it turned off, I appreciated it. I appreciated it more because I understood the value of being able to flush a toilet. Some things that I took for granted every day is a thing I appreciate so much more. But how long do you think that lasted? Week, probably 2 weeks, and then it came right back to me being taken it for granted again. I hope that's not what happens when all this is over. I hope we can appreciate the doctors, the nurses, the people who are the stock boys, the cashiers, the waitresses, the people who are the cooks that are working at these restaurants, the people who are working behind these deli counters, the people who are essential employees, who are truck drivers, the people who are working at these daycare centers, the people who are trying to make your life feel normal in a time that's non-normal. I hope that we look at them when it's all said and done and we realize that nothing will ever be the same because we're going to appreciate them so much more if this is done. As we look at cities that are just abandoned and we walk through them and it's just like a ghost town, we get on the highway, we appreciate the small things in life that make us feel normal. I hope that you appreciate technology so much more because it allows you to work. Appreciate the fact that you have a job right now, regardless of whether you feel that you shouldn't be working because you don't feel non-essential in an essential role. Appreciate the fact that you still have some sort of income, and think about the people right now who are laid off that wish they were deemed essential by somebody and were allowed to still provide for their family. This is the time right now to you to really dig deep inside yourself, find out who you are. Find out who you are and what you're really about. And I hope that this is all said and done, that nothing be the same. That we walk out of this with a whole different perspective, a whole different mindset, a whole different appreciation, a whole different value on things, life, and people. That we appreciate things. Most importantly, I hope that when we come out of this, that we learn to wash our hands and practice good hygiene. Maybe something good come out of it. But in the time being, please, practice social distancing. Appreciate and respect others, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter how you feel about yourself. Be respectful to others. Think about others. Don't interrupt or disrupt anybody else's life no more than it already has been. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Past and Present Podcast. I'm your host, Alan Gray. I want to thank you for being here for another week. Until next time, people, I only got one thing left to say, y'all. Stay tuned. Peace.